Okay, thanks, sir.
Okay, we're back on the record. My apologies, we had some issues with YouTube. But I'm doing this on WebEx and with the plan of uploading it after, and I'm recording this again. And I will upload it after the hearing, just in case something happened with the first attempt to get this on, get this hearing moving. We did appearances, we entered the certificate of publication into evidence, and we're back now, 15, 20 minutes later. So, Ms. Erickson.
Your Honor, UGI with
Right. I appreciate everyone's patience. You just have to hit that button, make sure it's lit up green.
It's good now.
Great. Please.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your business address.
First name Jesse, Jesse. Last name Tyala, Tyala. Business address is 1 UGI Drive, Denver, Pennsylvania, 17517.
Great. I think council's got something for you, sir.
I have the direct testimony of Jesse Tyala, I don't have to be marked as UGI.
Two?
Sorry. For identification.
All right.
Do you want to? You give that one.
Thank you, sir. All right, it will be marked as Exhibit 2 for identification.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have that one.
Do you need a copy of that, sir? Testimony?
I will take one.
Okay. Okay. You have enough, Ms. Erickson? Okay. You're fine.
You want it, you are welcome. Mr. Tyler, do you have in front of you a document captions in case 9515 F? Testimony and exhibit from Jesse Tyler.
I do, yes.
Did you prepare this document or?
Yes.
Does it consist of a cover page, 12 pages of question and answer?
Yes.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No.
If the questions were asked of you today, as they are asked in this document.
Yeah.
You adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony proceeding.
I do, yes.
Your Honor, I requested Mr. Fayon's correct testimony exhibit be entered into evidence.
Any objections? 2 is admitted.
And the witness is available.
Mr. Miller?
No question.
Mr. Albert?
No question.
All right. I have a couple questions, but just if next time if council coordinate, if you guys don't have any questions, just let me know and maybe we can save a witness from coming down from Pennsylvania. Sir, on your load duration analysis you reference on page 5. And I understand you do that, UGI does that annually, is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
And how far out does that process go? Or how many years does it go?
So the load duration process consists of reviewing a winter period that would consist of weather events that would be typically our worst case event, which would mean the most load we would ever see in one typical winter. We look at the history of 20 years to see what weather events we would likely experience in that type of scenario. And then we extrapolate what our design day load would look like along with the load all of the winter period it is.
Right, and I guess my question was, I know you got 2 contracts based on that analysis, and one was more maybe 2024 to 2029, I believe. I was just wondering if obviously you incorporate what you anticipate in the future.
We anticipate our distribution system to continue to grow. We don't expect it to decline in peak day usage or design day usage going out into the future.
Mhm.
So we don't look at that period beyond just the prompt winter period, but that's where we're planning for in the immediate term.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, another question I have for you on page 10, sir. And these are more just for my own edification. On table 2, you've got the certified gas purchases for the November 2022 through March 2023. And it looks like the cost, there was, it appeared to be, there was a pretty big fluctuation in the cost. Do you have any insight on why the large fluctuations are?
Yes, sir. In the beginning half of the winter period for 2023, there was a substantial difference in the index price of the certified natural gas supply. Because the certified natural gas purchase we executed, it was index based. So there was some market fluctuation in the price of natural gas, which was included in the price of the certified natural gas. Had we purchased any other supply that was non-certified, the prices would have been nearly identical to what you see in the table here.
All right.
Let's see.
On the need for a cost benefit analysis, I know it was cost neutral in this case. And in terms of moving forward, is it your understanding I want to say the requirement or suggestion to do a cost benefit analysis would just be done, I guess, after this heating season? UGI would look at it and determine whether or not it was cost neutral
Correct.
moving forward. Okay.
Correct, Your Honor. Yeah, we review the cost and the benefits of the service. If it had no impact financially to the customers, likely would be unnecessary to perform a cost benefit analysis, especially of I think you're referring to the renewable natural gas purchase.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if there's no impact to the customer, we would consider that, on an unnecessary basis for a cost benefit study.
Okay, so next year, if things were to change, we could anticipate the company doing some type of cost benefit analysis.
Correct.
Okay. All right, excellent. Last question I had, in terms of the RNG and the certified natural gas, do you know what impact, if any, they have on the environment or, meeting the state's, Maryland's greenhouse gas goals and their climate goals?
Well, in terms of the impact goals to the states, either in Pennsylvania or in Maryland, the net benefit to UGI, because there's no actual retirement of the environmental attributes, speaking specifically of renewable natural gas, that benefit isn't actually seen to UGI utilities, but it is seen to the entities producing and monetizing and marketing that for those environmental attributes. So because we're not, those attributes are being sold to other parties and being marketed elsewhere, no actual benefit to the UGI utilities customers or the environmental statements from the state of Pennsylvania or Maryland this time. It does, however, offset the use of traditionally produced natural gas, which is the primary source of the heating supply for Maryland and Pennsylvania customers. So in that regard, it is using a resource that does not extract fossil fuels from the ground, and it's using an existing waste product to generate. At least the facilities connected to our distribution system now are using waste product to produce energy to service our customers.
Okay, so there's some benefit, but it's probably not a great
It would be
benefit.
difficult. It'd be difficult for the utility to quantify
Sure.
specifically to the customers impacted.
Right, okay. All right, thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions based on mine? Mr. Miller?
I just have a clarifying question. So, in other words, when you're buying the RNG, the producer of that RNG is saying selling separately the environmental attributes. You're buying the RNG itself, and they're buying separately.
So the way that transaction is structured, the RNG is purchased and the environmental attributes, they're also then resold to offset the increased cost of the RNG purchase. The RNG purchase, including the environmental attributes, are then resold and marketed elsewhere. The utility then retains the value of those environmental attributes to offset the cost of the RNG.
So the utility does in effect buy the environmental attributes?
Correct. We do buy them. We then sell them to offset the cost of the orange.
Oh, okay. Oh, I asked, we're gonna use the solar standard, but since you're reselling them, correct, offset the cost. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir.
Very close to 2000 speak this one.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your business address.
My first name is Kimberly, spelled Kimberly. Last name Basnensky, Bassinsky. And business address is 1 UGI Drive, Denver, Pennsylvania, 17517.
Thank you.
The direct testimony of Kimberly Bassinsky that has been marked for identification of UGI. Great.
It'll be so marked. Thank you.
You have in front of you a document captioned in case 9516F entitled Direct Testimony and Exhibit Kimberly M. Bassinsky, dated November 16th, 2023. Yes. Did you prepare this document or was it prepared? It was. Does it consist of a cover page, 4 pages of question and answer testimony, and one exhibit? Yes. Do you have any additions, deletions, or corrections you would like to make at this time? No. If the questions were asked of you today, if they are asked in this document, would you say? Yes. Do you adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony? Yes. Right, Your Honor, UGI request that this document is direct testimony and be entered into it.
Any objections? 3 is admitted. Mr. Miller,
No question for the witness.
Mr. Albert.
No questions.
I don't have any questions either, ma'am. Thank you very much. Does that wrap it up for you, Ms. Erickson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Mr. Miller?
Focus, he has no evidence or witnesses for this.
All right. Mr. Albert?
Staff is 2 witnesses. We would ask first. Evan Thomas, make it stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm under penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your address.
My name is Evan Thomas, Evanthhomas, and my address is 6 St. Paul Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas, what are your job responsibilities at the commission?
I'm a regulatory economist with the Telecommunications, Gas, and Water Division.
And what kind of analysis did you do in connection with the review of UGI's gas cost?
I reviewed their testimony and responses to discovery and attempted to see if their purchasing and procurement activities were reasonable and competitive.
Now, you prepared direct testimony in this case that was filed on November 29th, 2023.
Yes.
And you also, we'd ask that be marked as staff exhibit number 1, Mr. Thomas's public version of the testimony.
It'll be so marked.
And Mr. Thomas, you did submit a confidential exhibit as part of your testimony, is that correct?
That is correct.
We would ask that confidential exhibit, the warrant is exhibit 2C.
2C.
C there.
It'll be marked as 2C for identification purposes.
Do you have any revisions to this testimony? We would ask at this point, Your Honor, that you introduce it to the record. Mr. Thomas's staff exhibit number 1, and the staff exhibit 2C, confidential.
Any objections to 1 or 2C?
No objection.
No,
All right, they are admitted.
with that, staff.
Ms. Erickson?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
I have no question.
Very briefly, Mr. Thomas, how are you today?
Good.
I'm well. In terms of the cost benefit analysis, I was discussing earlier, is it your understanding that it's kind of a ongoing obligation on the company in the event that the purchase of renewable gas is not cost neutral?
That is how I was understanding it, and that's why I need to mention it in my testimony this year. So long as it's cost neutral, I have seen no reason.
Excellent. That's all I have, sir. Anybody have any questions based on mine? All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas.
And I did bring copies of this testimony.
If so, please, you can give it to him. I have copies already. Whenever you're ready, sir.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes staff's presentation.
You want to call Ms. Shea or introduce her testimony unless there's a stipulation?
No, apologies. All right, second witness. I'll do that. Call to the stand, Lucy Shea.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm under penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your business address.
My name is Lucy Shea, LucyShea. My business address is 6 St. Paul Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
Thank you.
Ms. Shea, what are your job responsibilities at the commission?
Public utility auditor. My primary job is to make cases and filings.
Okay, just in a very broad perspective, what kind of analysis did you do in connection with UGI's gas costs?
Yeah,
Your testimony.
UGI files monthly PGA purchase gas adjustment filing. I review it and recalculate it and ask questions and audit. It appears to be reasonable. It's reviewed by my advisor and then it's accepted.
And again, you prepared testimony that was filed here on November 29th.
Oh, yes,
And any revisions to that testimony?
no,
And then you filed the next, I think it was the next day, missing page from one of the data responses that was attached.
yes,
Your Honor, we would ask that Shea's testimony be marked as staff exhibit 3.
All right, are we so marked? Is that going to be including the missing DR?
Yes,
Okay,
it's okay, Your Honor.
Yep,
Staff
no, that's-
giving a separate exhibit number, and we would ask that staff exhibit 3 of Shea's testimony.
all right. Any objections to staff 3?
No.
No.
All right, it's admitted.
And with that, staff will present Shea for testimony.
Thank you. Ms. Erickson? Mr. Miller? I have no questions either, Ms. Shea. Thank you very much. We have anything else? Ms. Erickson?
No, Your Honor, although given the lack of cross-examination, I would ask whether to the possibility of testimony video or waiving the testimony together. You have a desired procedure for such a request. Assuming that there are not major issues.
Sure. Yeah, I'm certainly open to that. I do think it's good to have you guys come down, I'm sorry, the company come down. My apologies. Certainly, occasionally. I'm not opposed to it. Mr. Miller and Mr. Albert. Okay.
Yeah, I think the ordinary case, circumstances like we staff would be fine, even if there are a few questions that
Sure.
can be done. We're also familiar with the virtual. Obviously, we'd like to make it on a case by case.
Sure.
approach.
And yeah,
We do agree that, and I'll apologize on behalf of staff. I probably should have thought of that a week or so ago.
no, that's fine. I mean, and
Parties.
I think Ms. Erickson, you might probably have an idea as to, if there's going to be any issues, when the case ultimately gets scheduled. So I think we can, maybe you can coordinate with the parties and see if anyone has an objection to that.
Do you have a time frame when you would like to be receiving the request?
I guess maybe when we establish a procedural schedule, is that too late?
We would require this maybe after UGI files.
Sure.
It still would be probably several weeks before.
Right. And in terms of the scheduling for next year, did the scheduling work out okay in terms of filing the testimony?
Yes.
Okay. The only concern I'd have is the advertising. It depends on when UGI files, just to ensure you get that it's going to be a virtual hearing in your advertisement. But if you did it a month or so out, I think that would probably give you enough time.
Yeah, I think we did it sort of mid.
Okay. 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 Sounds good.
Appreciate that.
All right. Sure. Absolutely. All right. Anything else? All right. No briefs? Okay. All right. Great. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great holiday. All right. We're off the record.